Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. First off, I want to start off by apologizing for my voice if I sound very nasally. Oh, I'm sick. Let's just say that. I caught a cold from my fiance. I tried so hard to avoid him, you guys, and it was inevitable. I'm pretty salty about it though because no joke, in the past 5 months, this is the 4th cold that I've had. That means on average, I have pretty much had a cold almost once a month. It has been hell. I will tell you that much. I am so sick of being sick. I'm done with the winter. It just needs to get warm already. Alright, so let's dive into this video. You guys, I have been kind of in a video slump. Last week, I was kind of like, boom, came up with all these ideas. I put out 5 videos. And then this week came in, I was like, well, what am I going to do now? So I've been really brainstorming, and I thought, let's talk about how to be conscious shoppers. Let's not be scammed. Let's not be swindled. Let's just be more conscious. The beauty community and makeup is huge. It's blowing up. There are new product launches every other day. I feel like, you know, at 32 years old and over the span of the time that I've actually been interested in makeup, I have never seen makeup be more popular as it is right now. It is such a following. It is so popular. Who is ever in the cosmetic industry right now, they're making some pretty pennies. They're laughing all the way to the bank. Let's just say that. Let's go ahead and talk about how to be conscious beauty consumers. Let's dive in. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is packaging. Number one, you guys, do not be fooled by packaging. 2 things to look out for. Number one, when you are looking at makeup, if you follow makeup launches, if you are a makeup collector, whatever, really think for a second. Put the packaging aside. If you took the packaging away from that product, do you still find yourself using it? For example, this is the Kat Von D Saints and Sinners palette. I actually won this palette in a giveaway from a gal with a YouTube channel, Natalie Marie. Check her out. So this palette I won in the giveaway, and it is beautiful nonetheless. I mean, look at this packaging. When you open this up, look at these color selections in here. You've got these 2 mirrors. It is unique nonetheless. But a lot of people that were buying this were very off-put by the way the colors were arranged. If you are a beginner into makeup, or if you're just not used to using color, this is not a palette or palettes that look like this that I would suggest. It's just too all over the place. Again, don't be sucked in by packaging. Now for me, I love the color layout. I haven't had a huge chance to play with this, but I am inspired when I look at it. So watch out for packaging. Are you buying something just because of the way it looks? You know, does it actually inspire you? Are you going to use these products? Something to think about. Also watch out for companies who will re-release products but with different packaging. Think of that for a moment. Comes to mind is Benefit. When they did that influencer collab, it was like Laura Lee, Jeffree Star, I think Manny, don't quote me on that, I don't really remember who exactly were involved with this, but it was essentially products that Benefit has already had out. They slapped an influencer on it and sold it as, these are the influencer faves. They put the picture of the YouTuber or the blogger or whoever on the packaging, but it was like, okay, like you already sell this product. You know what I mean? Like, watch out for stuff like that. Another one comes to mind is, I just saw on Trend Mood today. Trend Mood is a Instagram page, and I think they have a blog as well, that basically they're ahead of the trends. They are letting you know of makeup launches pretty much before anyone else. They have the tea on makeup, and it's fantastic if you're a collector, but it can be dangerous because it can cause you to spend some money. So be conscious of that. But Trend Mood actually released an new Urban Decay launch. You guys, I'm sorry, I'm so fuzzy-headed right now. I'm trying to keep all my thoughts in a row. I hope that this video is making sense. Essentially, the palette, and I'll put a picture of it somewhere over here, looks like they took the Naked Heat palette and put some pops of blue in there. So watch out for that. Yes, the packaging is really cute. It is very on trend with what's popular right now. It reminds me of this palette right here, the Boxycharm Pure Cosmetics collab. I feel like a lot of palettes are doing this right now. A lot of makeup companies are coming out with these like warm tone, and they call like a beachy type thing. Like Tarte did it with their mermaid palette that came out. They put like these blue or green tones in it. So obviously it's very on trend. It's with what's going what's selling right now. You know, companies are smart. They're not going to just create a product that isn't going to sell. But again, be smart about it. Is it actually new? Is it a fresh idea? Do you have those colors already? And that leads me into my next piece of advice. Shop your stash. If you are a makeup collector, I say that you are a makeup collector if you have more than 3 palettes. If you have more than 3 eyeshadow palettes, consider yourself a makeup collector, because let's be real, there is no way humanly possible that you would even be able to use those shadows before they went bad, or before you're probably not even going to hit pan. That's a fact. So shop your stash. Sometimes I see palettes and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Like, those shades look so unique. I need that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Just Peachy Matte's palette. Well, this is a matte palette full of peachy warm tones. The My Little Pony palette from ColourPop. Look at all those pops of color in there. And then you've got Dream Street from Kathleen Lights. Another interesting warm tone palette, but with pops of blue and teal. Got the Kat Von D palette with all of these colors in it. Do I seriously need another eyeshadow palette? No. I have literally every color spectrum right here, and this isn't even in my singles. I don't even need all of these. Shop your stash, look, make sure, you know, sometimes people get overwhelmed by that. They don't want to have to whip out multiple palettes. They think, well, it's all together in one palette, that makes sense. No. It's never like that, you guys. When I do my eyeshadow, sometimes I dip into 3 or 4 different palettes. I will dip into my Jaclyn Hill palette, my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and then a ColourPop palette or a single shadow. Sometimes I dip into a highlighter palette to put something on my eyes. So shop your stash. Make sure you really don't have those items already. Speaking of shopping your stash, palettes are actually a great investment. It's like a one-stop shop, and some that I really do want to talk about are palettes that are affordable like these. For example, the BH Cosmetics 10 Blush Pan Palette. I think that, you guys, this is under $10 on the BH Cosmetics website. This is even sold in some Ulta locations. It is so affordable, but look at this. You wouldn't need anything else. I think that there are 2 versions of this palette. They have this nude one and then another one, and there might even be a third one. I'm not 100% sure. But if you are into nude blush palettes or blushes, this is all you would need. It's all you need to spend your money on. You literally would not need to buy anything else as far as blushes, because in here you've got, you know, they've got shimmery shades. There's even this kind of metallic-y bronzy shade down here. I mean, literally, you wouldn't need anything else. Another example would be a highlighter palette. Now, some people think that highlighter palettes are kind of silly because, like, do you really use all those? But if you're creative, you might. I like to blend and, like, top a lot of my highlights. Like, I will mix shades. This is the Innuendo highlighter palette from ColourPop, and it's stunning. It's like 16 bucks. You get 6 giant pans, and you've pretty much got every kind of shade in here. So, again, it's the only one you would ever need. Now, if you don't want a highlighter palette, go for something like this. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome. They have this in the Molten Gold and the Molten Rose Gold. These work on a ton of different skin tones. You get a crap ton of product, and it works beautifully. Again, if you bought the 2 of those, you really wouldn't need any other highlighters in your collection. Contour palette, the same thing. Here you've got, again, I always reference these BH Cosmetics palettes because they work beautifully and they are under $10. There's always a sale, buy one, get a gift on their website. Sorry, I keep touching my nose, you guys. It is so red and it won't stop running. But, I mean, look at this. Again, you've got bronzer, contour, setting shades, matte highlight. You've got everything that you would need in a contour palette right here. If you want a eyeshadow palette that offers you everything and you only want one, consider something like this, the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is not new, you guys. This is all over the freaking internet. You guys know what this is. When I open this, when I say I don't even need to introduce it. But again, you've got every single eyeshadow shade you would ever need. If you like warm tones, this is a dream palette right here. You've got pops of color, ways to smoke it out, and then these top 3 rows. I mean, you've got 3 rows, basically 21 everyday shadows right here. You don't need anything else. 38 bucks. You've got everything you need. So watch for stuff like that. One-stop shop makes it simple. It makes you not feel overwhelmed. You've got everything you need in a couple palettes. If you have the Jaclyn Hill palette, a contour palette, and a blush palette, boom, you are good to go. The next thing is Dupes. expensive makeup does not necessarily mean that it is better. I have tried my fair share of expensive items that I don't like. I've tried $110 foundations that I think suck, that I like this better. And this is from Flower Beauty. I did a review on this recently. This is $13.99 up against La Mer, which is $110. I would pick this any day over that foundation. So expensive doesn't necessarily mean better. Yes, watch out for ingredients. More expensive items tend to have better ingredients in them. But again, there are plenty of items that are very expensive. For example, one of my holy grail items, the La Mer, the powder, that stuff is $95 and one of the first ingredients is talc. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? Obviously, there's other ingredients in it, like the miracle broth that, you know, La Mer, there's a whole story with that. I'm not going to get into La Mer's history, but yes, you are paying for skincare in it. There's all that stuff. But again, there's plenty of other products that will offer that to you at a much more affordable price. So when I say dupes, for example, Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara and the Voluminous Lash Paradise, you guys, to me, these are almost the same thing. I do find that the Lash Paradise tends to dry out faster. I do like the Better Than Sex formula just a tad bit, but again, if you're on a budget and you want something comparable to this, what is this, $24, $7.99 at the drugstore. There you go. Shop for dupes. ColourPop concealers are fantastic. This Catrice, what is this? The High Coverage Concealer, the Liquid Camouflage. I am a huge fan of this, you guys. I am obsessed with this concealer. These two concealers, we're talking $6 for any of these, and they are comparable to the coverage that you get from Shape Tape, which is $27. So I can go on for dupes all days. The new ColourPop Luxe lipsticks, they give me Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips, MAC vibes. You're talking $7 versus $17.50 or even $30 or $32 with Charlotte Tilbury. It's dupes. Watch out for stuff like that. I mean, that goes for foundations, mascara, setting sprays. There are so many affordable products out there that perform or even outperform high-end brands. So that is something else to look out for. The next thing is if you do have a ton of makeup and you found that you're overwhelmed, pick a few items and start a project pan. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched project pan videos. I'm actually going to be starting a project pan series with a twist on my channel. Basically what it is you start off with a few items that you want to achieve panning, and that means that you see that pan at the bottom of your product. So if it's an eyeshadow palette, pick a few shades out of there that you're like, okay, I want to at least hit pan on 1, 2, or 3 shades of this palette. Set up a calendar, make certain days. On Tuesday you're using this palette, switch it up so you don't get bored with it, because again, that's going to make you fall out of the habit and the point of the panning process. So pick some products that you know, and start from first in, first out type thing. Start with the oldest stuff in your collection, try to wear that out, go through as much as you can, try to use up product before buying more. That is something that is so important. It lessens waste. If you have new makeup that you haven't even touched, and again, you're a major makeup collector and you've got a whole bunch of stuff, products you haven't even opened, but you know you're not going to use it, donate it. Bring it to a women's shelter. That is such a cool thing to do. I don't think really any shelters take partially or gently used makeups, obviously for hygiene reasons, but if you have products you haven't used, are still in the package, you picked up that extra mascara, but you're not going to be able to get to it, it's still in the package, get a collection going and donate it. Give it to friends and family. Try to make sure the products are getting used, because waste is another thing to consider. The thing is, avoid buying too much of the same thing. Nobody needs 7 primers for their foundation. In fact, you guys, most moisturizers double as a primer for your foundation. Obviously, if you want something that's pore filling, dimethicone, you want like that slip to it, pick one. You don't need Smashbox Photo Focus, Touch and Soul, No Pore Primer. You don't need, the Fenty Beauty Primer. You don't need all these primers. Just pick 1 or 2 that work for you. Sometimes if you live in different climates, obviously for drier months, you need something more moisturizing, and then in the summer, da-da-da. But again, consciously watch what you're buying. Keep track of it, because you're going to end up like a beauty guru and you're going to have a ton of crap that you can never get through. So again, you don't need all that stuff. You don't need 30 foundations. A lot of the times with makeup collection videos like the ones that I share, They're just to show you guys what I'm loving, and I'm actually decluttering. Like, I'm actually getting rid of certain things. That leads me into my final tip is watch out for subscription boxes. Subscription boxes like Sephora Play, yes, there is benefit to that because you get like Play points or the Sephora Beauty points or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're paying $10 still for that. And a lot of times they're just sending you samples that you could literally walk into the store and ask for free. So watch out for stuff like that. Ipsy's another one, Birchbox, where they just send you a ton of samples in the mail. If that's your thing, by all means, go for it, but try to pick the one that's the cheapest. I think Ipsy's only like $10, and I've heard they've been stepping up their game. I have actually signed up for Ipsy because I do want to give it a shot. I haven't had it in years, so I just kind of want to, you know, review it, see what it's like in comparison to where it was 2 years ago when I first tried it. Boxycharm is a very good subscription box, but again, a lot of the times, you guys, are you really going to be using the products that they send to you? Do you need more brushes? Do you need another eyeshadow palette? I've noticed that in the last few months, they have had palette after palette after palette. And again, if you are a makeup collector and you like to try new things and you can afford it, great. But if it's just not necessary, I mean, for me, technically, Boxycharm really isn't a necessity. But obviously I want to bring it to my channel because I know all of you like Boxycharm. So, you know, I want to be able to bring you those tutorials and whatnot. But aside, as a regular consumer, $21 a month is $21 a month at the end of the day. So if you're going to have subscription boxes, make sure it's one that fits in with your needs. Are you wanting to collect eyeshadow palettes? Do you not buy makeup? Are you not super experienced in it and you like having someone curate makeup for you and put it in a box, you know, that makes it easier for you? Those are some things to consider. So this video was made just to give you guys, you know, some food for thought, you know, in an industry and an environment where, you know, it is a consumer driven climate out there. People are buying, and I feel like people just aren't really taking a step back and thinking, but do they really need all these things? Now, is makeup a necessity to life in general? No, but we're gonna buy it. I love makeup. There's no way I'm ever gonna give up makeup. So these are just some ways to, you know, curb your spending, make sure you're buying things that you actually want and need, and that you're not gonna end up going through what I call makeup fatigue and end up with a whole bunch of products that you're overwhelmed with, that you can't ever use, and you get the drift. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try to upload 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes more. I recently hit 1,800 subscribers. I am so excited about that. Super exciting, so close to 2,000. I can't wait. It's been super fun and I love doing this for you guys. So again, thank you so much for your support. I thank you guys in every video, but you deserve it. So I hope that you found these tips helpful and got the gears going. Have a great day, you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.